Hello, this is Ransom1690 back with another video, and today I will be talking about how society places stress on you to constantly do stuff to survive. And so it all starts when you go to school. When you go to school, you get told that you must make good grades, you must pass your tests, and you must learn the things that they teach you in core classes. And so you go through 12 years of that, at least over here, it's 12 years of schooling. You have, I think, pre-K, and then from there, you get into kindergarten, which I believe is around the first and second grade mark. Then you go to third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, so on and so forth. And our school academics ended at 12th grade. That's when we were officially finished with primary schooling. And so from there, you either go to college, go to trade school, and a lot of my class, they was in like into ROTC, so they was all going to like the Air Force and the Navy and all of that. And you are told that if you take all this extra education, then you will be at a higher chance to gain meaningful employment in a career of your choosing that will lead to you having a better life. But it doesn't always work that way, unfortunately. You may be like me and not know what you want to do with your life and not have any guidance on what to do. And so I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school, and I really didn't have anyone guide me. So all I knew is, okay, you need money in your pocket. So what is the fastest way to do that? Okay, go to work. And so that's another thing that you're told you must do in order to survive is you must have money in order to pay for the necessities that you need. But sometimes that may not be enough. The job you're working may not be enough for what you're needing. So now you have to start looking into other avenues of how to make money to survive, which could quite possibly lead back to going to trade school or going to college. Now, I've heard a lot of horror stories about horror stories where even people who do go to college and they take out loans, that they go into debt, and then even when they graduate from college, they come out and they still can't find a job in the field that they went to school for. So they wind up having to work lower end jobs anyway, which at that point, they're competing with many other people who are in need of these jobs, like just to afford basic necessities like food and rent. And it's tough. It's tough. And that's currently the position I am in right now, is trying to find any kind of work or employment that I can to increase my chances of getting out of the horrible situation that I'm currently in with my family, with my abusive mother. And when you don't have a lot of resources to work with, it's already gonna be really hard, but you're still expected to figure something out with low or no resources. And like I said in my first video, I'm already doing everything that I can. I've tried going to workforce, or that's what I'm doing currently. And it seems like it's not going anywhere. Again, I will talk to these people and things will sound promising, and then I'll get 2 months of no contact. I have tried filling out job applications, applying to jobs regularly, just filling out applications online, turning it in, and hoping that someone calls me to consider me for the job. And from there, you have to go to the interview. You have to put on this character, I'm gonna say, to try to sell yourself to these people to make them want to hire you. But even when you do that, it still may not be enough. You still may not get the job. And that has happened to me time and time again, where I would dress as best as I could. You comb my hair out. You, of course, make sure you have a shower, make sure you're well groomed, and go out there and try to sell myself as best as I could. And it still wasn't enough. And so, not only are you expected to do all of this stuff just to survive, but society makes it hard as hell for you to even gain these necessary resources like a job, which is a basic necessity in this society, stuff you need to survive, money. They make it hard as hell for you to even get that, even when you're trying your very best. I once had a friend tell me that society does not owe me a thing, which really pissed me off. And it pisses me off now that I'm an antinatalist, because I didn't even ask to be born. I did not even ask to be brought into this world in the first place, because some idiot, some woman decided to spread her legs and screw some guy who also was shit. Screw him. He is a shitty father. Now I'm here having to do all this bullshit just to survive. And so you're brought into this world involuntarily, which is made even worse if you have irresponsible parents. You're told you must go to school, you must go to college, you must go to trade school, you must acquire a job and make money to survive to eat, to have a place to sleep, to have proper plumbing, just to take a shit and piss. But then in the same breath, you're told that these things you need to survive, these things that you must acquire to not suffer, that you are not owed any of these things. And that, quite frankly, is a load of shit. So if that's the case, then why bring kids here to have to eventually grow up and deal with this kind of stress and deal with this kind of struggle, to where if they are not able to successfully do all of this stuff to survive, then they will be homeless, or they'll be in a situation that is not good for them, more than likely homelessness. You know, that's what it always leads to, is homelessness. And so in my downtown area, there is so much homelessness down there, and it's terrible. It's terrible to look at, because you don't know what these people's stories are. And from the smell, you can tell the sanitation isn't good. It always smells like raw sewage down there. And I just hate going down there because of how miserable it looks. So that's all I have to say about that. I just don't like going downtown, because just even when you look at it, even if you don't see the homelessness right away, you can just tell that it's not a good place to be in. And so if you are not able to acquire these resources, that can be your story. That can be your life. But what happens is, in school, you're constantly being lied to. You're constantly being fed a load of bullshit that's telling you that if you do all of this stuff, if you make good grades, if you invest in your future by going to university or pursuing further education, then you can have a successful life. And that is just not true all the time. That's not true for everyone. And the thing about school is they don't tell you the truth. They don't tell you the truth. They don't, like, we've had so many of these people, I don't know what they're called specifically, but they would come to our school and they would talk to us about university this and going to school that and all the benefits. But what they don't talk about is the potential con from pursuing that path, of where you may go into debt, of where you may possibly end up graduating from college and still not have the job that you went to college for or university. So you've wasted all of that time doing more education just to amass a lot of debt and still have no meaningful career path. And so now your standard of living is still shit. They don't tell you that. And I know when I was in 10th grade and I was sitting in math class, they tried to indoctrinate us. They put on this video where they were showing other countries that take their education seriously as opposed to America. And so we really need to get our kids to become smarter, become better academic students. And even then, I knew this was bullshit. Like, it was just indoctrination. And I don't remember what I said at the time, but I called it out. I called it out in the class, and my teacher tried to shut me down. He was telling me that, well, this isn't about you. I don't remember everything he said, but he was basically telling me, just to shut up because it's not about what I think. And I mean, it was bullshit. If you had seen this video, you would know what I'm talking about. And so they indoctrinate you to make you think that doing all of this stuff is required for you to have a good life. And here's the thing about the statement of my teacher when he said it's not about me. So, okay, if it's not about me, then who is it about? All of this stuff that we are being made to do, who is it about then? What is this really about then? And that's a really meaningful question, because if I'm not doing this for myself, then who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for society? Am I doing this for the higher ups, for the government to look good? What's really going on here? And so I don't think that's what he meant by it, but it's almost like he unintentionally told me that we are all just a bunch of pawns here doing stuff for the sake of a system that doesn't care about you, that does not consider you. All they consider is what you can do for them. And so that goes back to what I was saying before. If you are not able to successfully do all of this stuff to pass school, to successfully complete university or trade school, or even just going to work and rising through the ranks, and if you are not able to do all of that stuff successfully and be of value to whoever it is that you must answer to, whether it be your employer, your parents, because once you hit 18 and all of that, that's when a lot of them start charging rent. Just whoever it may be that has a higher position than you, then you are worthless in this world, according to these people, to this system. You are not valued if you are not able to do all of this stuff and be successful at it. This society, I feel, values what you can do for it over your own well-being. And so, even when you do all of this stuff to survive, you're not really doing it for yourself. It's not about you. And I feel that that's really unfortunate. That's a terrible way for us to be. And that's all I really have to say. It's really unfortunate that society has to be this way. Looks like my phone is messing up here, but oh well. So I think that completes the topic for today. As you can see, I am filming from my house this time, in one of the rare occasions that I'm able to be here alone and have some peace and quiet. And that concludes the video. So comment, tell me what you think, and have a nice day.